Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing the Hack the Box challenge called Beep, and we're going to start out by doing an nmap scan. We are going to want to do a script scan, a version scan, IP address with all outputs, and we'll call it nmap. I already did this, so we'll just cat it. And so the first thing I like to look at when I do an nmap scan is the ports that are normally web applications, so 80, 80, 80, 443. And as you can see here on port 80, it redirects it to HTTPS, which is port 443. So if we go down here, we can see that it is an open port. So that means we are going to want to open it up in Firefox. So when you open it up in Firefox, you will see that it does automatically redirect us, and we get to an Elastics page. And after doing some research and trying some default credentials, nothing seemed to work. So I did run a derb against this. And when I ran derb against it, I used the common word list first, as you can see, and it didn't come back with anything too promising, so I actually went ahead and did it with the big derb list. Big.txt is what I believe it is. We'll see here. Yep, so it is under your shared derb word list, big.txt, and it has vtiger crm. And that immediately caught my attention because I have heard of it before. So if we go online and we go to vtiger crm, we get prompted a sign-in page. And so when I got here, I actually looked up vtiger crm. We can see the version down here, 5.10. So if we go here and we look online for exploits, there should be a local file inclusion, and I immediately tested it to see if it works. So I just copied this part of the link and went ahead and tested it out, and it did work. And as you can see right here, asterisk is on the box. So after doing a lot of research for asterisks, I actually turned out and found a page that in their manager, it's called manager.config, just conf, and it actually sometimes stores the password for the website. So if we go here and we paste it there, and we want to keep the %00 because that's also considered a null byte, so we'll end it. And as you can see, it immediately brings up a result, and if you read through it, it says blah, 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 admin secret JE, and this is the password. So we're going to want to copy this, go back to here, and paste it, and sign in. The username is admin. And the way I came up with that is if you just search default credentials, it's admin is the normal one. So I just figured that the username would stay admin and they would just change the password. So now as you can see, we're actually in vtiger crm5. And after doing a lot of research with this, it's fairly easy to find. There is actually a file upload vulnerability, if I can find it here, under company logo, company details. So what you're going to want to do is, I'm not sure if I still have it, so if I go to cd var www.html, and so what you want to do is have a PHP backdoor. I used the Pentest Monkey one, and you're going to want to rename it with a JPG extension or JPEG extension, any kind of image extension, and that's because when you upload here, you can upload a new logo and have a JPEG extension, and then actually tamper data it or change it to get rid of the JPG, so it's just a PHP file. So I'll move shell.php JPG just to shell.php. And as you can see, we are listening on port 1234, so I'm going to want to set up a listener. And then I'm going to want to move this back to the way it was. Awesome. So now it's a JPEG extension. We're good to go. Has the right IP, right port, and now we're going to want to upload a JPEG file. And we're going to want to use tamper data. I normally do use burp, but for whatever reason, burp was not working when I wanted to do this. So ended up going with tamper data. So what you're going to want to do is scroll down until you find the name of the file. And the first one you find is not going to be the one you want to edit. You want to edit the one that says file name, which is file name right here. And we're going to want to change this to just PHP. So we're going to delete everything else and click OK. And then all this other junk. Stop that, and we should have an upload. Let's see. And it didn't work. Let's try one more time. Sometimes it does take a few tries to do, so we'll just wait and see here. So start it. I wish I could make this bigger. I don't know how. If anybody knows how to, please let me know. There we go. And then as you can see in the back here, we actually got our reverse shell. So if I can just exit out of all this stuff. But there we go. And so we are actually in the machine. It wasn't too hard. Pretty simple. So next thing we're going to want to do is see what our permissions are. So let me zoom in here so you guys can see it and delete everything else in the background. Alright, so now we're in. We're asterisks. Now we are going to want to find the user.txt. So Fanis. And as you can see, it's right there. Our first flag is done. So second thing we're going to want to do is see what we have permissions with. So the first thing I like to do is go to the home page and see if the TMP folder has all permissions, which it does, which is awesome, which means I can upload linenum, which is a file program that you can upload, and it runs a whole bunch of tests to see if there's any common vulnerabilities for privilege escalation. And so we are going to want to do that. So we have to turn on our web server. Now that it's on, so now that we're in TMP, we can wget the file from our page, and I think I'm 14.3 linenum.sh, and awesome, it works. So now we're going to want to run this file. And as you can see right here, it was downloaded successfully. So bash linenum.sh. So now while this runs, it shouldn't take too long. We'll just wait. So now that some of it has ran, we can actually start going through it. And as we go through it, we can see the kernel information, the release information, the host name, pretty much all the information we would do manually kind of comes on here automatically. So there is a root user, and then if we go down here, we actually see we can supply sudo without supplying a password, and nmap is one of the applications that we can use. And so this is kind of like the Mr. Robot CTF I've uploaded on my channel, but it's the same thing. So you're going to want to do nmap interactive and then I think it's SH. And then I kept trying this and it didn't work, and I didn't know why. And did it? No, it didn't. So why it didn't work is you have to use sudo, which for whatever reason I didn't do my first time, and I sat here and tried it multiple times. So enter active, and now if we do it, we should be root. Who am I? And we are root. Awesome. So now if we go to cd root there, and root.txt, and we are completed, found both flags, and completed the machine. It wasn't too simple. It reminded me of Mr. Robot a little bit. So please leave a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.